All right, friends, I wanted to pop in real quickly and share with you some really bullish news on BlackRock owning 5% of Microstrategy, also known as Strategy, or the real name Strategy. So anyway, this is really good news. Just a quick overview of why I think this is important. Remember also, this is not financial advice, so full disclaimer. This is just for educational, informational purposes only, not financial, legal, or investment advice, okay? So you can't make this stuff up. The headlines are in. It is official that BlackRock now owns 5% of MicroStrategy stock. And this is a very, very fascinating point. So if you're just joining me, BlackRock had to file today because they now own 50% of 5% of MicroStrategy stock. So if you're looking at the headlines here, I'm going to show you real quick. BlackRock ownership right here. BlackRock increases ownership of Strategy to 5%. BlackRock's ownership of Strategy has increased to 5% according to the latest 13G filing. So basically, they had to file this because anytime you file something like this, it basically means that you have to prove or show that you don't intend to influence or control the stock. So owning 5% of MicroStrategy is pretty big. They've owned more of MicroStrategy in the past. In fact, they owned 4.09% in the past. So it basically says here, BlackRock disclosed that it now owns 5% of Strategy, equivalent to approximately 11.2 million shares. This marks a 0.91% increase from its previous 4.09% ownership as of September 30th, 2024. So BlackRock just pulled the trigger. Look at the date on this. Today, February 7th, the news is announced right here. Make no mistake, I don't think that the Finkster is buying up MicroStrategy with the intention that it's not going to be a good year. So pretty cool news. If you do the math on this, they own 11.2 million shares right now. So they had about 4% before, now almost a 1% increase, which is a 25% increase. So at the current stock price of $330, it's somewhere around $3.7, $3.8 billion worth of MicroStrategy that they own. So pretty smooth. And that is good news. So I just wanted to drop in and tell you that. It's exciting. And I think with the forecast of what BlackRock must be thinking, or Larry Fink must be thinking, is I don't think they would gobble up another $1 billion worth of MicroStrategy if they weren't bullish in 2025. So I know I was on an early video today. If you wanted to look at my earlier video, I talked about the cycles of Bitcoin and when it gets hot and warms up and when it might be time to sell. And now is not one of those times from my viewpoint. But it's good news. If you did not see the screen, I'm going to show it to you one more time, because here is the official news that is in that BlackRock now has increased their ownership of MicroStrategy. Pretty cool. So I think I don't know if they're the second largest shareholder. There's another group called Capital Investments. I don't know the exact name, but they own like 7.5% of MicroStrategy. They bought up a bunch of MicroStrategy shares in 2021. And I think they're the largest stockholder at 7.5%. So it's actually good to take a look at who are the largest shareholders of this asset to know who's actually buying up this stock. So between BlackRock and this other company that I just mentioned, they own, I'm going to try and find it for you, but between BlackRock and this other company, Capital Investments or whatever they're called, those two own 12.5% of MicroStrategy stock. That's a pretty big holding. So, and it also shows that it is a big holding because they legally had to fill out this form to, and in the form they had to, I guess, proclaim that they weren't going to exert or influence control over MicroStrategy stock. We all know that they probably are. So that's the reality of it. But it's for those of you who are like, wow, MicroStrategy is trading sideways and we see it and it's been trading down. The fact that BlackRock is getting behind it and buying more is a very bullish sign. So I'm excited about that. I want to share the news with you. I hope you're excited about it. Can these large shareholders push Saylor out one day? I don't think they can pull him out. Saylor has a huge percentage of the voting rights in MicroStrategy. So, and And I think he designed it that way and structured it that way. So I don't think there's any chance that he's going to get pushed out. So that is a good signal. I hope it's good news for you on a Friday evening. But I'm super bullish about it. I'm super excited about it. Again, if you're just joining us, BlackRock increased their ownership of MicroStrategy. They bought another 1%. They went from about 4% to 5% ownership. And that's equivalent to, I think, about $1 billion of new capital that they put in, maybe a little bit less than that. But it's a pretty serious buy. So we should be watching to see what BlackRock does. We should be paying attention to what they do in the bull run, because they are now a large holder of MicroStrategy, and they can obviously influence the stock. They're also buying up and gobbling up in their ETF, Bitcoin. So we should be paying attention to what they're doing, because obviously with the amount of buys they're making, they can definitely influence Bitcoin. They can definitely influence MicroStrategy, and paying attention to the news of what BlackRock is doing is absolutely important. So that's what we're doing today. And it's cool. So I just wanted to tell you that. I am going to go into a meeting, but I wanted to let you know that is good news and leave you with good news for the weekend. BlackRock going more in on MicroStrategy. BlackRock super bullish on Bitcoin, largest financial institution on the face of the planet. So that's pretty good news, or at least one of the largest. All right, guys, hope you have a great weekend. I'll see you soon. And looks like somebody says they're getting their paws on some more Bitcoin. Yeah, right. Well, not sure that's a good idea. Metagirl says they're definitely getting their paws on it. So if they're buying more now, unless they're planning to buy now and flip it in a month, which I don't think that they're probably planning to do. They're probably buying now, positioning themselves for maybe a run in 2025, or maybe positioning themselves for a longer term. Okay. And their largest shareholder that I just cited before, which I didn't have the whole name for them, they own 7.5% of the stock, approximately. So it doesn't look like they've sold since they bought in 2021. So let me see if I can get the name of this stock for you guys. It's Capital. The name of the company is Capital International Investors. So if you want to look them up, Capital International Investors acquired 953,000 shares of MicroStrategy at a 12.2% stake in the company. The investment was valued around $600 million at the time, and that is a big chunk of MicroStrategy. So I don't believe they've sold anything since they acquired, or at least they still own a large share since 2021. And so I would be paying attention to this company as well to see what they're doing, and see if there's any headlines about what Capital International Investors does with their stock, or anything that BlackRock does, because between the two of them, they now own 17% of MicroStrategy. So that's pretty interesting. BlackRock owns 5% and they own 12%. So that's a large stake. So that's the news for today. I did a video earlier in case you missed it. You want to check it out, but I wanted to pop in and give you some good news. All right. Hope you have a good rest of the weekend, and I'll see you guys. I'll probably be back online doing a video tomorrow or latest Monday. All right. Hope it serves you. See you soon.